On this week's episode, we're at Oconee State Park in Mountain Rest, South Carolina.
First things first, let's get our Ultimate Outsider book stamped.
After getting our stamp, we went and checked in and walked through the gift shop, which was really cool. It was set up like an old country store and had anything that you could possibly want while you're camping and when you go home.
We bought a few bundles of firewood, a couple of t-shirts, and then we went and met the park ranger.
Welcome to Oconee State Park.
All right, what's your name?
My name is Mandy.
Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Rome, Georgia.
And how long have you been at this park?
I've only been at this park since October. I'm pretty new.
Any parks previous?
Yes, sir. I worked at Jones Gap State Park in Caesars Head as an assistant ranger.
And what got you into wanting to be a ranger?
Well, that's a good question. I love being outside. I used to be into wilderness therapy. I don't know if you're familiar with that concept. I worked outdoors with kids. I pretty much lived outside for like 5 years. And I became very well acquainted with the Southern Appalachian Mountains, and I just love these woods. So I thought that the best way to be able to be in the woods all the time was to be able to find a job in the woods. And I used to work with at-risk youth. I worked in a high school. I was a high school counselor before I did this, but I didn't get to be outside enough. So I found a way to get back outside and took a risk and tried to become a park ranger, and I am now a park ranger, and I love it.
So tell us a little bit about the wildlife here.
So we do have some bears. We had a really cool sighting just like 2 days ago where we saw a bunch of baby armadillos at the entrance to the park. That was pretty cool. Of course, we have deer, and then we have some bat boxes and duck boxes, and tons of birds, of course. I'm not a bird person, so I can't tell you a lot about the birds. And then fish. Most people come here for fishing.
So what's your personal favorite thing about the park?
Well, my favorite thing, I guess it would probably be the history of this park, because it is one of the first state parks in the state of South Carolina, because it was built by the Civilian Conservation Corps. Pretty much if you walk around this park, every piece of property is a part of history. I mean, it was built by the Civilian Conservation Corps, the Shelter 1, all of our cabins, this building right here. So everywhere you go, you're seeing a little piece of history.
What's the best time of year to visit the park?
I personally love it right now. The mountain laurel, have you seen the mountain laurel?
Yes.
It is so beautiful right now. And it's cooler, and we're not quite super busy yet, so it's a little bit more mellow. So yeah, I think that this is the time, because the bugs aren't too bad, even though there's gnats flying around our heads right now. But the bugs aren't too bad. The weather is just so beautiful all throughout the day consistently, because we're high enough in elevation that it just stays cool even in the middle of the day.
All right, we appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. So as the ranger suggested, we went down and started exploring the property.
Not a whole lot of activity in this area of the park today. Beautiful area, looks like it would be a great place to swim. This area here, the spillway, it was beautifully designed with the curve into it, and it went down to a little waterfall in the back.
And for a quarter, you can get some pretty good entertainment with the fish food. So we are going to look at the Oconee water wheel. The Oconee State Park was developed in the 30s as part of the earliest state parks in South Carolina, and it was built by the CCC, which was a program created by President FDR in the New Deal, which helped those that were unemployed during the Great Depression, and also made really cool parks and infrastructure for South Carolina. So why is there a water wheel? Well, one of the major needs of the CCC camp was generation of power for various tasks during construction and operation of the park. So one of the methods used was the water wheel. The building that we are looking at is housed with a replica of the wheel, and the original wheelhouse still exists, but it's in the remote area of a park where it was once used to power a pump which transported drinking water to the camp. So the wheel itself is the original one used by the CCC at Oconee. The original wheel operated by taking advantage of the rugged terrain and one of many streams of this mountainous area. Let's go see where the trail leads.
And of course, the first thing we come to, it's uphill.
Well, what I was going to say was, we see two groups of people and they're really, really in shape. So I'm a little bit worried about being on this trail. Alright, you ready? So, we definitely got our exercise in for today. This water wheel trail is about 1 minute and 37 seconds of uphill. So, I mean, if you're really in shape, maybe you can do it.
Let's go back. This is my favorite part. Downhill.
Trail part 2. Let's try this one.
This trail was a little bit more exciting and a little bit longer, but it still really led to nowhere, so I think we actually turned around on this one and went back toward the campsite. Funny thing, we actually ran across a whole line of sewer cleanouts in the middle of the woods. Who would have thunk it?
Let's take a ride around the park.
This was another one of the South Carolina state parks that gets a 5-star rating in our book as far as cleanliness and well maintained. Everything is cut back, the shrubs are nice and trimmed, the roads are well maintained. Coming into the park right here, it gets a little bit confusing as to which way to go because you'll see in a minute there's some oncoming traffic.
Or maybe we can't read the signs. As you can see, everybody kind of had their own space, and we really enjoyed that. We felt like we had some privacy, and also it was really well kept.
Our spot was just up here on the left. You'll see we were in our 78 Prowler, and one word of advice is our cord was actually too short that we had to run an extension cord, so we were on 15 amp rather than 30 amp. Fortunately, we had a drop cord with us, so I definitely recommend keeping one in your camper just in case.
Alright, so keep watching this video for the next couple of minutes to see the rest of the park. We'll drive you around and kind of give you a tour. Also, hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. We always appreciate you watching, and look for our next video.